Hey guys, this is the beginning to my YouTube channel. In this YouTube channel, we're going to be doing a lot of fishing stuff. We're making lures from jigs, soft plastics, maybe even some hard baits. We'll be going on different places, doing a lot of fishing stuff, fishing tournaments. We're also going to be doing tips and tricks, different videos like that, all kinds of different things have to do with fishing. So like and subscribe. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about jigs. So this is a jig that I've made. In order to do this, you are going to need some weed guards. You'll need a lead and a lead melter. The correct hooks that fit your style of mold that you have. So these ones fit my brush jigs. These are the small sizes. They are 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4. So in order to do this, you'll take your hook, put it in there, however it fits. There's a little pin that goes right here, and that pin puts the hole for the weed guard. So after you pour your lead, you'll have just the jig head with the hook on it. There won't be any weed guard or anything on there. So once you remove the pin, you'll have a hole. And what you want to do before you put your weed guard in that hole is you want to take some of this powder coat paint. So you heat up the lead for 5 to 8 seconds, and once it's hot enough, you'll dip it down in there. And once you dip it down in there, it'll melt to it and harden, and it'll come out looking a little bit something like that, nice and shiny. And so a lot of times what will happen is that little eyelet hole right there will fill up with the powder coat paint. You take a pick and you just push it through there, dig that hole out. Once you have the hole dug out, you'll have this little area where the pin's supposed to go. There'll be powder coat that'll get in there. So you take a little 1/8 drill bit and just take your drill bit, go straight through there and drill it out a little bit, enough to where your weed guard will fit in there. Once you're to this point, you take your weed guard and you can slide it in there, make sure it fits. And when you know that it's going to fit, then you can take some glue, super glue, epoxy, whatever you want to use. What I like to use is this Gorilla Glue. It foams up, and so when it foams up, it kind of it fills the space where the weed guard is, since it's just bunch of bristles. So what you do is you'll take it, you'll put a little glue in the hole like that, and then you'll put your weed guard in there, and you'll want to let that dry for probably about 30 minutes. So you set it somewhere where it'll dry. You want to make sure you get that hole nice and straight, otherwise your weed guard will be off and it won't be any good, because you won't be able to hold back any of the weeds and stuff from getting caught on the hook. So once you have your weed guard glued in like this, you will take some scissors and trim your weed guard to however you like it. I like mine to be about just about a finger length away from the edge, so that when you rub your finger down it, you can't cut your finger. Once you have it like that, you'll take a skirt. So you'll slide your skirt on there and cut it to however you like it. You just normally cut it like that, and then cut it right there. And so once you have that, then you'll have a jig looks about like that. So with these jigs, you can normally throw them on 15 to 20 pound line, depending on where you're fishing. I fish Lake of the Ozarks a lot, and so we fish pretty heavy line there because the water is really dirty and the fish can't really see it. So there's a lot of cover and stuff you can get caught in. You can also throw this on braid if you'd like, but I prefer throwing it on 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon. It works pretty well anyways in the state of Missouri. So these jigs will be really effective in dirty water in late summer when the fishing gets really tough in 15 to 20 feet of water. And you skip it under docks, you can pitch in it in some brush, anywhere really that you want to fish this. So that's how you make a jig. Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about making soft plastics. So with making soft plastics, you're going to need a way to melt down your plastics. So you can either use old plastics or new plastic that you can buy online. Fusion X makes this thing called an X cube. You can make them, you can get them in different colors, firmnesses, and all kinds of different things. There's all kinds of different ways you can mix and match to get whatever color, scent, flavor you want. So in order to do this, you take a couple of these cubes or old plastics that you melt down, and you put them in the microwave, melt them down, and once you melt them down, you'll stir or you put it in there for about 2 minutes, then give it a stir, put it in there for another 45. After that, it should be nice and melted enough to where you can put it in a mold. So for a mold, I have this Do It Cinco mold. This is one of the molds that I use. It's a 4-cavity. In order to use this one, you're going to have to take your mold, put it in a nice solid level place. You can take a clamp and hold on to the end of it. So you're going to take your injection tube, you're going to get as much plastic in there as you can, and you'll insert it in the top. Insert all of your plastic that you can in there, and then after that you'll have something that turns out about like that. This was a Cinco that I made the other day on a color called Fire Shad. It's a pretty decent color. Other types of molds are these rubber ones. These ones you can get from Fusion X. They have all kinds of different molds and stuff on there. I have another mold. This is a crawl mold for the back of jigs. They work pretty good. I mean, you got to have dirty water a lot of times for some of the colors that you make with these, but they seem to work pretty good. This is a lure that I made from this mold here. It turned out pretty good. Also used that Fire Shad. Once I'm done with my plastics, I have this stuff called UV Blast. This stuff really makes your lures pop in the water when the sun is shining, or even when it's not. It helps it even more to attract fish with the color and the scents that you can put on these things. So that's how you make soft plastics. Alright, so hopefully you guys are educated on how to make soft plastics and jigs. Hopefully there'll be more videos to come, so like and subscribe.